Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is just a video log pertaining to me proving that evidence has been posted on the internet. These are 5 blogs, I believe. Each one, there's the top one right there, it ends at 4. The second one is pertaining to being gang stalked at the San Diego City Council meeting. The next one is the Peace Pink up until where it says 3-18-13 is the me catching the North University San Diego branch library branch manager saying gang stalk, oh my god, as I walked by him. And the third one has to do with me catching gang stalking in the same exact way. Well, let me just I'm going to take the time actually right now to click on each one so you can see how many there are and what they are. The reason why I'm doing this is because I won't be surprised if they don't start attaching music to some of my YouTube videos as a result of them hacking into my YouTube accounts and then using YouTube as a normal appearing avenue and vehicle to say your account's being closed because you're engaging in copyright violations. They already tried that once. Alright, so let me just get back to this real fast and then I'll expand on those statements I just made afterwards. This is the first blog. This is the most current updated blog that's been posted to the internet. It's still under construction, but right now it's holding a huge amount of evidence pertaining to me being gang stalked and verbally harassed in the same exact identical way everywhere I go. So all you got to do is, and it's also got the videos of me being assaulted and the evidence showing that they were 3 of the 4 assaults were predicted. Okay, it's got all the attached evidence in it concerning that. So this is the name of the blog right here. You can just type this in at Google and you will be able to bring it up in order to view it. The blog is still under construction, but right now it's holding a huge amount of evidence. Nowhere near the amount of evidence I got though. Okay, but just trust me, you'll be glad you will be able to witness undeniably that I'm being gang stalked by just looking at this blog alone. So going back to Twitter, so you can see now that was the first blog that was posted on this tweet. Now this is the second one where it says Diego City Council meeting WordPress. I'm going to click on that right now. Okay, bringing that one up. Now that's literally me catching the same exact identical harassment that was caught in the that is in the first blog I just showed you, happening around me inside the San Diego City Council meeting, caught on video. So just go to YouTube and type in this. I'm sorry, just go to Google and type this in. A news reporter, I think it was from KTPS, Jessica Miles from Minnesota, who's being gang stalked, a news reporter. She saw this blog online, looked at the videos in it, and posted her link, okay, onto my blog. In fact, look at here, the law library is even mentioned in this. Now, the law library is mentioned at the in the title of the blog I just showed you, okay. So this right here shows the same exact identical verbal harassment occurring around me as I'm inside the San Diego City Council meeting chambers. It's got YouTube video links and everything in it. So just go and take a look at it, follow the instructions, and you'll be able to see that I was gang stalked to this very meeting. It was the day that Filner resigned. It was the literal day that Filner resigned. So just follow all the instructions and you'll literally be able to see that I was gang stalked to that meeting and then after I left it, and harassed in the same exact identical verbal way that is in all the blogs and all the YouTube videos. Now this third one is basically a website called Peace Pink. So check it out. I'm going to click on it. This blog right here is dedicated to how Peace Pink posted the YouTube video that I made pertaining to me catching the North University San Diego Public Library branch manager. He was a male at that time. I think they had rotated him out of there. Okay, this is the name of the YouTube video right here. So just go to YouTube and type this in right here. Learning disabled woman, 3-18-13. Learning disabled woman exposes undeniably gang stalking at San Diego public libraries. Okay, and plus you can Google that and you'll come up with the Peace Pink blog. Just a little video of me literally showing the audio of him engaging in the same exact identical verbal harassment that is copied and pasted into the 2 blogs that I have already shown you. This is the same exact identical verbal harassment happening around me. Hang on. In social services. Okay, so All you got to do is, I'm bringing the blog up now. Once you see the title of it, you can type that in at Google. Now, the reason why I'm showing you all this is because the government will do anything and everything. All gang stalking targets. Well, let me just backtrack for a second. This is the title of that blog, 9/23/2012. Gang stalking, San Diego Social Services caught, human trafficking connected, methods used, exposed. Okay, that means the methods they were using are being exposed. Now, this blog has a bunch of YouTube videos literally showing me being, that video right there. In fact, let me bring this video up by clicking on it, and then YouTube will open up. And that way you can go right to YouTube and literally witness gang stalking, oh my God, being said around me in social services. Now, them repeating gang stalk and oh my God around me everywhere I go, every single day, is their intentional way to let me overtly know directly that I'm being gang stalked. Okay, so it's going to take a second for this to come up. And then what you'll do is you'll see the title of this YouTube video of it being said around me at social services, and it's been caught every single time that I have one from social services. I was just there in June of 2014 and caught it on audio and video again. This is the name of that YouTube title, Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Organized Stalking, Direct Conversation Tactics at Social Services. Okay, now when you listen to this YouTube video, go back and listen to all the videos and all the blogs I just showed you, and you're going to see the same exact technique, the same exact literal technique being utilized around me in all the videos that are pasted in the blogs. Okay, which will show you that they're either one persons or group is steering the entire expedition, because the verbal harassment is identical to a T. Okay, now the battery's running low right now, and my camera, the battery light is flashing. But what I'm going to do while I got this up is I'm scrolling through Twitter in order to be able to show you that I also sent a huge amount of tweets to, I think it was at least 5 different news stations and to the San Diego Police Department. Now, it was 3 tweets that were linked together. Okay, so in other words, when you bring up any one of the 3 tweets, you'll be able to witness the other 2. Okay, so the 3rd tweet that is attached to a 3-tweet link shows SDPD was sent it as well, along with the news stations. So that way, UCSD police can never ever say, okay, that they were never notified pertaining to in-your-face evidence. Now, so I'm passing by a lot of tweets right now that have additional evidence in it, but I want to get to that one because I want to be able to prove in this video, okay, that tweet was sent to them. So hang on a second. Just bear with me 1 second here. I'm looking for it now. Now, the same exact technique has been caught being said around me inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters. Okay, that city council meeting blog, that pertained to an event that occurred on August 23rd, 2014. Okay, now it's not letting me go past the day, 1 day of tweets, which doesn't seem logical at all, because I have people who are like if I let me just put it to you this way: if I notice a tweet that's online by somebody that I like, okay, and I'll retweet it from my account in order to retweet their tweet. If I like it, they will then, think to themselves, okay, great, hey, she retweeted my tweet. And so as a result, some people, when you do that, will go and review your profile to see if they want to follow you or not. Case in point, what I'm trying to say is that when these people have researched me on Twitter to see if they want to follow me, what they have done is they will go into my account and paste and then retweet a old tweet of mine that was sent 3 weeks ago. Okay? And so if they're able to get into tweets that I sent 3 weeks ago, why am I not being able to get into tweets that were sent 1 day ago, 2 days ago? Okay? Now, I printed it out the following day after it was made so I can prove the tweet is there and was sent to them. But what I wanted to do was be able to show, I don't know if on the printout the links are are more abbreviated than what they would be pertaining to how they're viewable on Twitter or not. That's the reason why I took this video picture. Alright, so in closing, since I can't find it, what I'm going to do right now is I'm literally going to show this to you. This is me catching, this is a YouTube video right here. Go to YouTube and type this in. Learning disabled woman catches gang stalker admitting they were. And then the continued portion of the title is admitting they were sent to harass her, read comments. Okay, and there's blogs. It appears that I posted blogs attached in the description of that YouTube video as well. That is me literally catching 3 teenagers admitting they were put on the 928 bus route to engage in gang stalking physical gestures towards me. Okay, there's sensitization methods, repeating words, phrases, physical gestures around a gang stalking target, the same exact identical ones, is how they intentionally, overtly, directly let you know you're being gang stalked. It's an intentional, anchored mental association that they form in your mind. They sensitize you to words, phrases, physical gestures, sounds, and even colors, and then will constantly represent what you've been sensitized to around you every day, everywhere you go. It's a clever way to let you know you're being stalked. Okay, so you can Google sensitization methods. So here's another one right here. Okay. Oh no, that's just the attachment of the most updated blog that was attached into. See, that's right there. That's just another tweet I made pertaining to that blog that I said was the most current one. Alright, so this is just my way to show you. Now, what I'm going to do is I'll make another video eventually, because I'm moving right now, but I will make another video showing that printout, and then when I go to the library, when I go to a public library, what I'll do is that I'll, if I remember correctly on that day, what I'll do is I'll bring up some tweets. Let me just show you this right here as well. This right here is a, hang on. This right here is a literal tweet I sent to a guy who seems to have a liking for police departments and police officers. I sent him this video, this tweet, and it's got 3 links in it pertaining to the Hemet Police Gang Squad being gang stalked. Okay, so you can go to YouTube, go to Google and type in Hemet Police Gang Squad space gang stalked space GS Watchdog space YouTube channel. And what that is, GS Watchdog is a YouTube channel that posted a YouTube video pertaining to the Hemet Police Gang Squad being gang stalked. And when you bring that up, when you bring their video up, scrutinize slowly and very carefully everything that is in the description of that YouTube video, because there's an examiner.com article in it. It's right there. Okay, and that way you can research how the Hemet Police Gang Squad was put under sophisticated surveillance, satellite surveillance, in order to set them up to attempt to murder them because they were becoming whistleblowers. Okay, so that's it. These little filthy rats will even gang stalk police officers. So since that guy, he's a professor in criminal justice, and he's constantly posting tweets online pertaining to things that are happening to police and some of the good things that police do, I thought to myself, since I'm a Christian, I'm doing the right thing. I'm not just, even though I'm a San Diego Police Department whistleblower, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna see these little filthy rats victimize you and traumatize you, okay? Because the verbal harassment and the sensitization methods is not the only thing that's happening to us targets, okay? We are targeted in order to exploit us in some of the most worst ways that your mind can conceive and cannot conceive, okay? So since when a target becomes aware that the police at least won't help them, and then at times they will also become aware that police are assisting in it, they will then start to mentally hate the police. Police officers that are involved in gang stalking or are told to do specific things towards a target, it's done to cultivate hate, okay? Because hate wears a person out. You got to look at it. If a target's surviving homelessness that was created by them, that is enough to generate a lot of hate. It's also a circumstance that creates a lot of financial hardship, physical hardship, mental hardship, emotional, spiritual, and so on, okay? Then when the target is experiencing all this because of the homelessness, they are also mentally harassed along all their routes every day. They're also periodically assaulted. I've been assaulted 4 times. Targets of this crime are also raped and gang raped, robbed, okay? And all these little incremental steps are brought about against the target in order so the target has to continue to live in additional effects, of what they do. Case in point, if they rob a Target, how's the Target going to survive? They do that in order to get the money and the IDs and the bus cards and the phones and everything that a Target's got, that's the Target's using to continue to survive independently. They do it so the Target has nothing, so the Target has to run to a place that they can either control or influence from behind the scenes, including homeless shelters, self-help groups, churches, domestic violence shelters. And after they rob the Target, they what they will do in part is they will try to psychologically steer the Target to a place that they can set them up for this exploitation. They'll get along the Target's path and have conversations around the Target and say, yeah, my friend just lost their job last week and they were really down and out. Or like say my friend just lost their job 6 months ago and they ended up homeless because of it and they were really down and out. They had nowhere to go, they had nowhere to turn to. And so they went to this church, or they went to Goodwill, or they went to Catholic Charities. All of these places, all of them are involved in gang stalking and or definitely can be influenced to participate in it. And that is done for multiple different reasons in order to bring about the next incremental steps that they bring about against the Target, including illegal syndicated probate control. So federal and state funds and insurance can be applied for in the Target's name, and or so they can co-opt the Target's existing benefits. That's right, racketeering, insurance fraud, human trafficking. The homelessness is created to exploit it. Go to Google and type in right now organized stalking or gang stalking and how they create homelessness of Targets. It's all over the internet. In fact, when you type that in at Google, you'll get at least 7 pages of non-stop websites. Each one stacked on top of each other are all saying the same thing. Gang stalking creates homelessness of Targets. It's all over the internet. Because what they're doing is doing that in order to be able to create effects, so those effects can then be exploited. Incremental steps to bring about the exploitation. And this is what gang stalking in part is all about. In part is all. Sorry. But anyways, it's basically a huge criminal motivation of why they are targeting the Target to begin with. Now, the syndicated cops will lie and say the Target's crazy. And that's actually a method of gang stalking. Google that. So when a targeted individual becomes aware of how much the police are at least not protecting them, and then when they start witnessing how they're being harassed, gaslighted by police, which means that they will even use the police to engage in sensitization towards the Target in order to send a mental message to the Target that the police will not do anything for you, and that they can also be used against you. Filing falsified police reports about the Target's mental stability, claiming on police reports that the Target's a threat to themselves or others, claiming the Target can't take care of themselves. They understand this. Targeted individuals of gang stalking, organized stalking, do become aware that police are involved. They intentionally let you know it. That is done for hate dissemination because hate wears out a Target. Okay? So, but Targets need to keep their perspective. Even unsyndicated cops who don't even know, if they're told to engage in a specific physical gesture towards a Target, okay, they might not even know what they're doing is gang stalking. But the Target is led to believe that they know it because they're engaging in the same sensitization harassment that other people are engaging in as they're saying gang stalking. Case in point, if the battery don't run out before I can get to this, listen to this. What I'm going to do right now is literally bring up, hold on, gotta go back. Right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring up Instagram. And this is this right here, what you're about ready to hear right now, is a actual video. It's a video of a 14-second section of an audio file. Do you hear these men say gang stalk together, and then gang is stalking? I'm going to F you up. All right, hold on a second. I got to bring it up. Okay, I'm going to play it one more time. These two men appeared along my path on a sidewalk on Thanksgiving Day 2013, right across the street, right up the street. 8 days. Okay, 8 days after I told a UCSD campus police officer that they were putting people along all my routes on their campus, everywhere I go on their campus, and repeating gang stalk, oh my god, gang stalk weird, gang stalk crazy, in that way, every day. This occurred 8 days later on the very sidewalk that is connected to UCSD. It occurred on Thanksgiving Day. Now, repeating gang stalk is what is in. Hang on. Repeating gang stalk is what is in all the videos of all the blogs that I showed you towards the beginning of this video. My name is Leslie Williams. I'm in San Diego, California. Today's date is October 8th, 2014. I'm literally going to show you the date by bringing up the calendar icon. Now, UCSD campus police and their little filthy whore asses came, excuse my language, came down here to my hiking area on August 27th, 2014, 3 miles off campus to tell me that I had to move. They gave me a ticket and everything, okay? Now, what they're doing is steering me to another hiking area that they know I have already dropped property off at, that I was going to use as emergency hiking areas, because I made videos showing that I am preparing to move, or statements like I'm moving this property to other areas to use as emergency locations for hiking, camping. And I stated in those videos that I'm doing this because I'm being gang stalked here, okay? Now, every single day that I moved property to those hiking areas, gang stalking, oh my God, was caught on all 41 bus routes going back and forth to those locations. All 41 bus routes going back and forth, okay? And that occurred between November 2013 and mid-March of 2014. So they know, because think about it, I got audio files and video files of gang stalk, oh my God, being said here at this location where UCSD campus police came to. I got video files and audio files of it being said in the same exact way on UCSD campus. I got audio files of it being said non-stop, multiple audio files of it being said non-stop on multiple different dates on bus route 41 going to these areas to drop off the property, and then on the bus that I took once I left the location after the property was dropped off at. Okay, so think about this. It was caught here, caught at UCSD, multiple times. Then it's caught multiple times on separate dates in the same exact identical way on all 41 bus routes going to the location to drop the property off at, and then on the bus route that I took once I left the location, okay, and went back to the bus stop to catch the bus to leave to go about my day for each one of those specific days. Which means they knew where I was at, where I was going when I left there. GPS tracking on my cell phone. And since I put videos online stating that I'm preparing to move property to other locations to use at least for emergency purposes, they just figured out that, because cyber surveillance is all over the internet in reference to that being a method of gang stalking. So what they just did was say to themselves, okay, she's moving property to these areas. And when I was at those areas, I also made statements in my tape recorder as I was leaving the area within the location where the property was dropped off at, as I was preparing to actually leave that specific area where the property was literally dropped off at. I'd make statements in my tape recorder, like the tape recorder you see here. Let me just do this. I'd make statements in my tape recorder, like the one you see here. I'd say, let's see if anybody appears along my routes as I'm leaving this area. And then as soon as I left the area and went to go get on the trail, an individual would walk by me and engage in gang stalking physical gestures. Their way to intentionally even let me know that they know when I'm leaving. Now, you can go to Google and YouTube and type in how gang stalkers will place themselves along the target's route at entrances and exits, because it's their way to keep the target, it's basically their way to keep the target mentally, attentively aware that they're being surveilled and monitored by propping up these people to be along your path, to appear along your path, especially when you're entering or exiting somewhere, because they want to keep you mentally focused on the harassment. Okay, and the only way they can do that is to prop up people they're using so the target will see them. As a result of the target seeing them, they then engage in either the identical verbal harassment or the organized stalking, gang stalking physical gesture. It's their way to send a mental message in order to let the target intentionally, overtly, directly know they're being gang stalked. Now, on these audio files, you literally hear me state, I'm leaving right now, let's see if anybody approaches me along my path. And as soon as I walk out of that spot to get on the trail, they got individuals walking by me and gaslighting me with physical gestures, which means this phone is being used as a GPS tracker. Okay? It can also be used as a microphone. So if I make statements in my tape recorder, I'm getting ready to exit the area right now, they can hear what I'm saying. They then get on the phone and text message the freak they're using for the day to make sure that that person or persons walks by the exit, okay, that I'm approaching in order to leave. That's how they do it. It's synchronized, crafted, timed harassment. Okay, so that all what I just stated right there should tell you that they know that I've dropped property off there. Now, why am I telling you this? Because these areas are completely isolated from neighbors. If they assault me, rape me, rob me, or all three, who's going to hear me scream? Now, remember this, ladies and gentlemen. It was UCSD and their little filthy whore asses that came here to evict me. Let's see if they come down here and create any event before I'm completely moved. That way they can say, well, this was the cause of you having to move to the other area, Leslie, where you were raped, robbed, or assaulted. It wasn't UCSD's responsibility in reference to you being steered to these areas. Okay? Now, there's another area that's not too, I'm not going to expand on where it's at, but there's another area where gang stalking, oh my God, was not being caught being said, but physical gestures were being perpetrated towards me on my way to it and back from it. That's right. And I made verbal notations about it in my tape recorders. But if they assault me, rape me, or rob me, or all three, or any of all three, especially the robberies, they can get a hold of the evidence. Do you understand? Okay? These are the filthy ass whore schemes of these little sewer rat. Just go to Google right now and type in organized stalking, gang stalking. Go to Google. Hang on a second. Go to Google, and if this video stops while I'm talking, that's because the battery ran out, so just ignore the ending. You can go to Google right now and type in, and YouTube. Do it at YouTube as well, because there's an excellent video online. Go to Google and type in the following way that I described. Gang stalking, space, human trafficking. And guess what will come up? A YouTube video that literally shows you. I don't have time to do it right now because I believe this battery is going to run out any second. I guess I'll try and do it right now. You'll run into a YouTube video that literally says similarities between gang stalking and human trafficking. Now, do you really think that UCSD and SDPD want all the evidence I got, over 900 audio files, going to court? What was I doing the day before they came down to this hiking area to give me the trespass notice? What happened the day before? The day before I was literally at UCSD in their biomedical library using their computers looking up lawyers and law firms. Okay, cyber surveillance being a method of gang stalking, they just viewed that as a threat assessment and figured we'll just move her out of where she's at, steer her to an isolated area, either murder her, rape her, rob her, assault her, anything they can do to take what I got, my evidence included, and my phones, because I can't call for help. I can't tweet anybody about what's currently happening to me if I don't have my phone. If I don't have money, my ID, my food stamp card, my bus card, all my evidence on me, where am I going to go? Okay? They'll do that and then start taking away the shelter. It's all done to steer you to an isolated environment that they control for the exploitation. These are the incremental steps of gang stalking. It's why they create the homelessness to begin with and then monopolize on it by saying, oh, I'm sorry, Miss Williams, we were doing a neighborhood sweep today and we just stumbled across you. Bullshit. Because when he came here, he asked me for my ID and acted like he didn't know who I was. When I realized that he was UCSD, I said, I'm not giving you my ID. I go, I'm not giving you jack shit. And he goes, that's okay. He goes, because I know your name. I go, really? Well, then why'd you ask me for my ID? He ignored that and then got on his dispatch and said, can you please give me the driver's license information pertaining to Leslie Williams? And within seconds, dispatch transmitted it back to him. I said, well, how do you know my name? I don't know you. He goes, because I've talked to you before. Total, complete, bold-face, in-your-face friggin' lie. Never seen that guy before in my entire life. Literally. Now, understand. So, when I was arrested at SDSU for minding my own business in their library, okay, and I handed them my ID, they tried to claim that they couldn't identify me through dispatch and then attempted to use that as a reason to ban me. And when I said, no, that's bullshit, and started arguing with them, that's when they arrested me. That's right. When they called in my name pertaining to who I was at SDSU from my license, okay, it took over 5 minutes for it to come back concerning who I was, and then they tried to say that I was a Leslie Williams from New Mexico that's got a bunch of crazy stuff on her license. I go, that's not me. They go, well, then you got to prove who you are. I said, well, why do I got to prove who I am when I'm just in here minding my own business trying to watch a movie? They go, well, if you're not a student or a guest that's been given permission, you're not supposed to be here. I go, really? I go, well, what's this homeless man doing right here watching a movie? They go, well, we'll deal with him. They never did. And then when they took me upstairs upstairs and put me in their car, in the back of their car, the police officer got in the car, and guess what he said? Leslie, tell me your P.O. box so I know that I got the right one on my screen. I never did give them my correct information. They said that I was an individual from New Mexico that's got a bunch of crazy crimes on their record. And it was the excuse they used to arrest me. But yet when they put me in the back of the car, they get in the car and say, Leslie, tell me your P.O. box so I know that the one I got on my screen is the right one. So how did they bring it up? It was a friggin' lie. Okay? And they also erased the audio file that was recording. The tape recorder was put in a pouch in my bra. The female bitch, okay, from SDSU, literally had the audacity to go inside my bra and take it out. And then she deleted the audio file. Can you believe that shit? Okay? So, and then I believe SDSU tried to bait me to come back by trying to say that I was only banned for 7 days. I sent them an email stating, can you please give me confirmation that I'm only banned for 7 days? They wouldn't, because they were baiting me to come back so they could do it again. That way they could have it on multiple police reports that Miss Williams is trespassing after she was banned. I know all about these little filthy schemes because I've been a gang stalking target for a while. Let me just put it to you that way. So I'm going to type that in right now. If this video stops while I'm still talking, that's because the battery ran out, so just excuse it. So right now what I'm going to do is I'm going to type in gang stalking and human trafficking. Okay? SDSU, UCSD, USD, California State San Marcos, they were all caught engaging in the same exact identical verbal harassment everywhere I went. Everywhere I went on their campus every single day. So how can they logically, okay, excuse that and say, okay, well, how could they say you're not being gang stalked if I got identical verbal harassment happening around me everywhere I go every single day and on all 4 of those aforementioned campuses? How? They can't. So what are they trying to do then? Steer me to locations so they can stage an event to arrest me, rob me, rape me, rob me of all my evidence. And, alright, so there's the video right there. Go to YouTube and Google and type that in. Similarities between gang stalking and human trafficking. Okay, so if gang stalking, oh my God, has been caught on hundreds of audio files happening around me at SDSU, go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking at SDSU. Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking at UCSD Price Center. Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking at Club Med. Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking at USD. Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking at Rouse, Jack in the Box, you name it, MTS. Now check this out. In closing, go to YouTube and type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking in Yucca Valley. Yucca Valley is 160 miles away from UCSD, which is in La Jolla where I live. I left this very area to go there for 1 week, and it was caught on every audio file and even video files on my phone when I was out there, happening in the same exact identical way to a T. So, do you think that this is enough evidence to sue the San Diego Police Department for gross negligence of duty because they denied my right to make a police report on at least 17 occasions? Hell yeah, it does. And they know it. It was literally caught inside the San Diego Police Department headquarters. In closing, again, go to YouTube, type in Learning Disabled Woman Exposes Gang Stalking at SDPD HDQ, and then make sure you cross-reference that to the City Council blog. Okay, now the reason why I did that was because they even had bicyclists go by on the sidewalk when they say it. Literally. Okay, so, alright, my name is Leslie Williams, so let's see if any problems transpire concerning me, about me, around me, towards me, or against me on any date pertaining to this area before I'm completely moved. That means harassment, assaults, arrest, any type of incident, anybody being used to call the police for any reason, and that means any law enforcement. Let's see if any event transpires concerning me, about me, around me, towards me, or against me, or any of my property, and you better believe, listen to this. They come down here and give me an eviction notice to move, and guess what happens? I start moving up my property and collecting it together in order to put the property on my bike handlebars, because I gotta walk with my bike with the property. So they started coming up here and waiting until I fell asleep and flattened my tires. Because part of gang stalking is to wear you out mentally and physically. They know how far I am away from a bus stop. You better believe they do. So they flatten my tires so I can't carry the property on the bike. What does that tell you? The homelessness I'm in right now was created because of gang stalking. Literally. Okay? So they do that in order to exploit it using these methods. Well, we were just in the area doing a neighborhood sweep and we stumbled across you, Leslie. Bull fucking shit. They're nothing. UCSD campus police ain't nothing but a bunch of lying, filthy whores. And they know it. They know I'm being gang stalked. You better believe they do. And they also know I'm exposing them. So, my name is Leslie Williams. So if any event transpires concerning me, about me, around me, towards me, or against me, as I'm moving property to these areas, as I'm creating the security provisions for the property, and once I move, because you better believe they're doing this for a reason, including arrests, assaults, rapes, robberies, you name it. Because the whole goal for them is to make sure that I never had the time to take any of this evidence to a lawyer that they cannot influence from behind the scenes. These expeditions are hosted by individuals at the federal, state, and local level. My name is Leslie Williams, and today's date is October 6, 2014. I made this video in order to be able to inform, to expose the truth pertaining to the factual realities of not just how I'm being gang stalked, but where it's occurring at. I'm trying to get a hold of a Dan Gillian. He's a lawyer, a super lawyer, a high-profile lawyer in San Diego. If anybody could bring this video to his attention, it would be very much appreciated, as well as Mary Frances Prevost. I do, because they intercept targets' emails for help to law firms. They'll reroute phone calls even to them while they pretend to be the persons you're calling. Just Google it and you'll see that's the truth. Just Google it. Okay? As a result, the target believes they're actually talking to a lawyer. They'll bait the target to open up about what's happening, and then as a result of them masquerading as the lawyer, they'll say, well, we're not interested in this kind of case. If a target sends an email to a lawyer or law firm, they will reroute it and then even go as far as hacking to the lawyer's account and send the target a bogus email. We're not interested in your case. This is done to keep the target isolated in the crime until the crime can bear the fruits pertaining to the criminal motivation of the crime. Do you understand? Okay? Rerouting phone calls, rerouting emails, hacking into targets' phones, hacking into targets' computers, cyber surveillance, all these faking email replies, all of these are methods of gang stalking which can be Googled at will, and you will literally see I'm telling you the truth. Isolation is a huge method of gang stalking, because they got to isolate you in these crimes in order to be able to do them. If a target's reaching out for help, especially reaching out for help including activist groups, they don't want that evidence to be viewed. Okay? So what they do is escalate the campaign to bring about effects so they can monopolize on the effects. Steering a target to a wooded area to get a hold of the evidence, either through a rape, a robbery, an arrest, even petitioning a target in a county mental health where the security guards will steal everything, or an area neighborhood hospital psychiatric for. You would not believe what I know. In fact, you can just go to Google right now and type in police officers in gang stalking, doctors in gang stalking, security guards in gang stalking, psychiatric wards in gang stalking. Just do it. Every single thing that I mentioned in this video is literally all over the internet in reference to hundreds of thousands of targets complaining about this crime being experienced in the same exact identical way. I'm in San Diego, California. I really do appreciate you listening. I live in La Jolla. Today's date, this video applies for the next year, okay? Because if they do something immediately after I move, it'll look obvious. So they might either do it right before I'm completely moved, okay? Or they'll wait a little while until after I move, okay? And they'll even go as far as bringing homeless people down up in here to camp here. Because once they bring about those events at the other areas, they believe I might try and run back here. I run back here and a homeless person's propped up, then they believe that I will say, okay, well, I can't camp here because somebody else is. They will literally go that far. They propped up a bunch of assholes to hike out 100 feet away. They harassed me day and night for over almost 2 full years. That's right. And then they conveniently moved them out in April, okay? And they've been back, and there's still individuals over there now. They were heard yesterday. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I gotta go. I apologize, I had to talk a teeny bit fast in this video, but I wanted to be able to condense as many details as humanly possible. If you take the time to research everything that I've stated in this video, you'll see that I'm telling you the truth pertaining to what's happening to me in La Jolla, California. I'm not involved in any illegal or criminal activity whatsoever. I am not a threat to myself or others. I'm not mentally ill, but these are the labels that gang stalking cops and doctors, county mental health, and even judges will put on a target. It's a syndicate. It's organized crime in the system, using their employment descriptions to achieve their objectives. That's right, in the system that has tentacles out within the community. They're also using neighborhood watch groups, community policing programs to target a target because they're lied to about the target. Google that. All right, I gotta go. Thanks for listening, everybody, and please say a prayer for me. This video applies for the next year. Thank you.